Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another PossibilityStorm.com puzzle, and Rivals of Ixalan season is finally here. So if you want to join in on the new season, make sure to head over to the PossibilityStorm.com Patreon to see how you can get involved. And I'm pretty excited because we got a pretty sweet rare puzzle to check out this week, featuring some cool new Rivals of Ixalan cards, some interesting stuff going on. So like usual, we'll go over the puzzle quick, I'll give you a couple of rules, and then I'll give you a chance to pause the video, see if you can come up with a solution, and then I will hop back in with the answer. So first off, the big rule, like every week, gotta win this turn. There's no passing, hoping your opponent punts or draws poorly, passes back, then you win. You gotta win this exact turn with the information you have. Otherwise, as far as this puzzle in specific, mostly keep in mind the opponent's board. They have Protection of Heckma, which convolutes things. They have a Rampaging Ferocidon, which turns off life gain and has an enter the battlefield trigger if anything enters, and lifelink, and all that crazy stuff. So keep all of that in mind as you're working on your solution. Otherwise, opponents have 4 life. That's how much we got to get off of our opponent's life total this turn to win the game. So anyway, I'm going to let you pause the video, see if you can come up with a solution, and I will be right back with the answer. So how did you do? Did you come up with a solution to this week's PossibilityStorm.com puzzle? So let's delve right into it, starting with our opponent's board. So our opponent has a total of 5 blockers, 3 of them with lifelink, a Gifted Aetherborn, 2 cat tokens, Regal Caracal gives them another blocker, and then remember they also have Rampaging Ferocidon. So even though our opponent has lifelink, they kind of don't have lifelink because players can't gain life with Rampaging Ferocidon out, so they have lifelink, but it's not really working at the moment thanks to Ferocidon. The big deal though is 5 blockers, and we only have a total of 2 attackers because our Legion Lieutenant, even though it's a creature, it's got a compulsory reset on it, so it can't actually attack. So we just have a Trapjaw Tyrant, the big Enraged Mythic Dinosaur, along with a Vicious Conquistador. So the other problem with all of this is even discounting the fact that our opponent has a million blockers, we only have 2 attackers. Our opponent also has Protection of the Heckma, which means whenever our sources deal damage to them, one of that damage is prevented. So for example, we attack with our Vicious Conquistador. Our opponent, sure, they get drained for 1 from the attack trigger because that's loss of life, not damage, but the Conquistador itself doesn't actually deal damage. Our opponent doesn't even have to block it, so it's going to be really hard to get through this board. On the other hand, we got a bunch of cards in hand, which is a good thing, along with a reasonable amount of mana, a total of 6 mana split up between white and black. So in our hand, we have Cleansing Ray, can blow up a vampire or an enchantment. We have Gideon's Defeat that can get rid of an attacking white creature or blocking white creature, Fatal Push for more removal, Tecatli Honor Guard to shut down enter the battlefield triggers, and a Walking Ballista. So let's kind of walk through our possibilities here. So with only 2 creatures, attacking isn't going to work. If we just attack at our opponent is just going to block our creatures, even if we use all of our removal possible. We Cleansing Ray the Gifted Aetherborn, let's say, with 2 of our mana. We Fatal Push another one of our opponent's creatures, maybe the Rampaging Ferocidon. We have a Walking Ballista as well. We could ping down a creature that way. That's not really going to get it done. In fact, Walking Ballista is a way we can get rid of the most blockers, because we could just play Walking Ballista and ping our Trapjaw Tyrant a few times. However, there's a problem there. Our life total is 1, which means with Rampaging Ferocidon out, if we just cast Walking Ballista, we're gonna die to Rampaging Ferocidon's trigger. So we'd have to like get rid of Ferocidon somehow first to be able to Walking Ballista, but even discounting the life total problem, pinging our Trapjaw Tyrant 3 times, enraging 3 times to get rid of 3 blockers still doesn't give us a way to win. We attack, our opponent blocks, we don't get in the damage we need to win the game. So there literally is no way we can kill enough creatures to win with our attackers. That's just not a possibility, and we can't play our Walking Ballista unless we find a way to deal with the Rampaging Ferocidon. However, there is a bit of a twist here. Tecatli Honor Guard can actually be played. We can play Tecatli Honor Guard because it's going to shut down Rampaging Ferocidon's trigger, so we're not actually going to take damage from it. So is there any way that playing Tecatli Honor Guard can actually be helpful? It doesn't have haste, so it can't attack. It does let us play our Walking Ballista and do the ping our Trapjaw Tyrant thing to get rid of a couple blockers, but that still doesn't give us a pathway to victory. So I'm not seeing any way we can win with our creatures. However, remember, our opponent also has a Rampaging Ferocidon, which can make either player lose life whenever a creature enters the battlefield. So I think if we go really, really deep and super, super tricky, there's a way we can make our opponent die with their own Rampaging Ferocidon. So how about this? First off, we cast our Tecatli Honor Guard. We don't take any damage because of the Tecatli Honor Guard's ability, so Rampaging Ferocidon doesn't actually trigger. Then we can cast our Walking Ballista X1, so we get a Walking Ballista with 1 counter, use it to ping our Trapjaw Tyrant, and then when our Trapjaw Tyrant enrages, we can exile the Regal Caracal. So we get the Regal Caracal exiled. Then we go to combat. We attack with our Vicious Conquistador and our Trapjaw Tyrant. Our Conquistador is going to drain our opponent for 1. And then we need to use 1 more of our mana to Fatal Push our Tecatli Honor Guard. We got to get rid of the prevention of Rampaging Ferocidon. Then we can Gideon's defeat our Trapjaw Tyrant, which when it leaves the battlefield, the Regal Caracal, along with 2 cat tokens, are going to come back into play. That's going to trigger Rampaging Ferocidon 3 times. Our opponent's down to 3 thanks to the Vicious Conquistador draining, and that will put our opponent down to 0. The other cool trick of this is if you read Protection of the Heckma, it says if a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you, prevent 1 of it. Our opponent controls Rampaging Ferocidon, so we actually get around the Protection of the Heckma by that as well, because our opponent is actually unintentionally killing themselves with their own Rampaging Ferocidon. So I think that is the only way to do it. Play the Tecatli Honor Guard to shut down the Rampaging Ferocidon temporarily. Then we play our Walking Ballista using 2 more of our mana, putting us down to 2 mana left to ping our Trapjaw Tyrant, get rid of the Regal Caracal, attack with Conquistador and Trapjaw Tyrant, drain our opponent down to 3 with Conquistador, kill our own Trapjaw Tyrant with Gideon's defeat, which puts the Regal Caracal back into play. Trigger, 3 times Rampaging Ferocidon, opponent's life total 3, 2, 1, and we got the game. So, how did you do? Did you come up with the game-winning line? Did you see any other sweet lines? I don't see any other way to win from this situation, but maybe there's something I'm missing and another way to do it. So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're interested in the Rivals of Ixalan Season of Possibility Storm, make sure to check out their Patreon. Thanks again, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.